welcome to Thrive Technologies. Hey, look, it has been a minute since we've talked about Shiryo, and I just think that, given the current update that they just released, that we're just gonna give you an update, talk about it, and I know it's been a minute since I've even said anything about Shiryo, since I've talked about Shiryo. Since I've engaged y'all with Shiryo. Look, you might watch this video and go, he doesn't know anything because he hasn't been keeping us up to date. That might be a little true, but like I have still been reading about Shiryo on occasion and keeping myself up to date because I'm still a holder. I'm still in the alpha gameplay list when that occurs. But about an hour ago, Flate, who we all know, had released a update for Shiryo, and I thought we'd read it, go through it, talk about it, and if you guys have questions, ask questions. If I don't know how large my reach back is anymore, but I'm sure I could reach out to Flate and get some answers. Again, it's been a minute. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for continuing to support the channel. Let's just jump right into it. Of course, because it's been a minute, that failed. Figures. Oh, okay. We're just gonna skip the intro. Forget it. Alright. Hello. Okay, so this is from the update, like I said, was released from Shiryo about an hour ago. And you can read it on Facebook. I'll actually put a link in the description after I finish the video. You guys are welcome to go down there and hit that. Please support the channel by hitting that like and subscribe button. We're going to start doing this every Sunday, since it looks like they may be putting some type of update every week out. And if they do, then we'll do this every time they do. If not, we'll just talk about something on Sunday just to kind of keep us updated on what they've done for the week. All right. So again, this is from the lead game developer from Shiryo. So I'm just going to read it, and then along the way I'm going to stop and interject some of my opinion. I have read this, so it's not raw, but I do have some opinions. So hello Wolfpack, this update comes to you from the Shiryo team and lead game developer Rick. The first part of this update covers some of the latest progress over the last week, with the latter half covering questions submitted by the Wolfpack. So there are questions. I will find that link to where you can ask those questions, or maybe it's in Discord, I don't know, or Twitter, what have you. But Rick says, in terms of the Amazon Web Services progress, I've been going through the logic flow and meticulously going through the code base to be sure the functions are correct and working as they should be. The vast majority of this double checking has already been done, but like the carpenter's code, measured twice, cut once, it's imperative that all the checks are thorough. Since the last update, I'm just over a third of the way through the remaining AWS tasks, which is actually a little behind where I anticipated I'd be. However, this is merely due to needing to assist our other developers more than was foreseen this week, and not due to any technical issue. We've also been working on the user interface, such as the login screen, the lobby menu, etc., to make sure the menu systems all work as they should, and as they have a lot of functionality to this, making this a relatively lengthy task. For an overview of the other tasks we've been working on throughout the week, on Monday we began, and that's just, like, who cares about team meetings and stuff like that? I don't. I barely enjoy the meetings that I'm in for our team weekly. After which there was a one-on-one with Connor. He's one of our team's generalists who's been working on a lot of Shiryo design and art. His recent work has been assisting in creating additional animations for the game, This week he was able to begin upgrading our board design. Now I'm going to stop right there. Board design. So I'm kind of curious though on the board design. The last board design we saw, we were kind of interested in and liked, but we haven't been we haven't seen any information on this board update, and so what the new board design is going to look like, I guess we'll hang out, find out, and figure this out together. So anyway, they're redesigning the board. What are your thoughts on the fact that they're redesigning the board again? This is like the third or fourth redesign we've been through. So I don't know. I mean, there's only so much you can do to a TCG board, right? I guess it's just the way it looks and the way it plays, I guess. We'll see. It says there in practical use there are various elements of the game that didn't quite sit right. So there was elements of the game that didn't sit right within the board that was previously given to us. So now they're having to change those to make it sit right. Of course, it's essential that this is amended for the smooth gameplay experience and mitigate any potential FUD upon the launch of the alpha test release. See, I guess the FUD is that we're sitting here waiting on the alpha game release or the alpha test release. That's the FUD. It's not about the gameplay or game experience. We know that there's going to be issues with the alpha gameplay when it comes out. So look, we I'm not trying to disparage anything, and I'm not talking bad about Alpha or Shiryo or the alpha gameplay or the tactics that they're using. But the FUD is the fact that the game isn't out or isn't being able to be seen to be played. We've seen tidbits here and there, but once the alpha test release comes out and people can actually see actual people playing this, then that FUD goes away no matter if there's game technical issues or not. So Rick, I'm gonna say, come on, let's I know that you want to be meticulous and I know that you want to get this out, but we really need to start seeing alpha gameplay. An 8-page design document for new and really, I don't know that we need to know that. On Tuesday we had a quick. See, I don't care about meetings. I mean, okay, so if you really wanted to talk about like people that are involved in the game development, talk about them. Don't give us their resume. Tell us who they are. Give us some real details about their family or how they came into gaming or how they came into gameplay. This resume stuff doesn't jive. I don't care about the resume stuff. Any bugs and holidays during after which I was able to continue working midweek. Okay, so we started the week on Wednesday. Comprehensive design meeting, another meeting. As a team, we discussed and finalized last-minute necessary changes to the initial balancing of the basic 50 card set. After a significant amount of internal testing and analysis has also included some general needed refinements to some of the element type abilities that were brought to light during this internal testing, of which the team were all very happy with the outcome of the meeting. As usual, once this was concluded, I continue to work with the AWS for the rest of the day. Alright. We've also identified 15 of the 25 additional cards. We were aware of a further 20 cards that are suitable for the 30-person test, which we'll be asking input from the community. Okay, so clarification is needed. Further 20 cards, and I'm not sure if that means like 20 cards within the set of cards, the 75 cards that we have, or if it's 20 more cards. I think that's where I'm confused at. It says we've also identified 15 of the 25 additional cards. We're aware that a further 20 cards that are suitable for the 30-person test. I hope they're not putting more cards than have already been released. That would be another bad thing to do. Anyway, they're doing a DAO and a poll voting system on these cards. Once it's done, they'll be expanding the deck creation. As of now, we constructed several decks from the basic set. However, once we introduce the new card... Oh, so there are new cards. So a lot of people have minted their decks, have opened their decks, and now we're introducing 20 new cards. I'm not sure what to think about that. I think that's an issue with those that have opened their decks already. I don't know. I know that I'm staked, so I'm still getting decks, but they're just the basic decks. They're not the anything else. So I don't know if there's going to be an addition to that or what. That needs to be clarified, and how they're going to rectify that situation. It says we hope you enjoyed reading this update, and we'll be answering some questions. I think the number one question is when did the dev team start the process of manually coding the game after the gameplay theory had been finalized? As an example, second week of October 2022. Rick answers this question. We started coding prototyping for the core system of the game, not features, at the end of December 2021, so 18 months ago. The core prototype takes a vast amount of time to build due to how large and complex of a system a trading card game is. Yes, a trading card game is a very extensive and complex task, and nobody's asking you to do it overnight. And everybody thought you were going to create this thing overnight. They were crazy. Whereas in Areas of 2, because of the large amount of systematic, variable, and automated process, it required substantial prototyping to get reliability and robustness of so many things interplaying with each other. This involved us creating basically every system from scratch. A huge amount of time is really just figuring out how to get what we want operational robustly, and this has been about a 6-month process with to get a core framework that we were happy with. So they've got a core framework they're happy with. So question number 2 is, could you list some or all of the 25 cards that are being considered for alpha testing? As of the moment, our core design development members, who themselves are experienced with TCGs, active players, are in the process of handpicking and building specific deck types that we believe will give the most fun, while simultaneously providing us the best information for the first test. We would like to present to the community that they get to choose 10 of the 25 cards. We narrowed down 15 we are happy with. We know there's a range of 20 more cards that we will work with, so thought we'd ask the community to see what they think remaining 10 should be. To be clear, we're quite capable of choosing these outright immediately. However, we wanted the community to have some personal involvement in this aspect of development. A link right there would have been great. Have there been specific cards and their ability to that have posed an outsized challenge for coding gameplay? There are some cards that in the development and the practice are challenged to make a gameplay like Shiryo work smoothly, as almost all of the card interactions and systems have to run automatically. So we have to create generic systems that will not only work with all 225 cards but all future cards, so that we have to essentially boil down what makes a card and its ability into boxes so you can run any card that fits within the system. Of course, there are always exceptions to the system, and we can't make all systems work for every possibility in the TCG. So because of this, you end up with an edge case and exception cards and have to manually go through and add exceptions or complete individual pieces to make the cards work within the system. Because of that, some cards are inherently difficult and require significant manual coding to integrate them into these generic systems. For instance, if you look at Gaia the Survivor, its ability is an upgraded Earth 5. It has Poison and it has Defender. But even though it has these abilities, it cannot attack until it's been attacked first. If there's a card that has Defender, or other cards have to attack it first before attacking others on the board. However, other cards with Defender can attack before they've been attacked. However, Gaia specifically can't attack until it's been attacked first, so it needs specific inputs to check if it's been attacked first before it can become a valid card to attack others. I could see how that would be difficult to figure out, and how it would be to manually code that. Is Shiryo Studio a physical location or theoretical framework for committing the entire gameplay development process in-house with little or no outsourcing? I think this question has been asked and answered several times. However, let's see. I'm just going to go through it again. Shiryo Studios is a remote network of systems of individuals from across the world. However, a significant group of the development team, including the coders, are located reasonably near each other. Development teams specifically will meet up as and when necessary. However, Shiryo Studios and the core Shiryo teams meet in person around once every quarter. As we upscale with more staff if needed, we'd be happy to acquire a solid physical location. So the last two questions, well, question number 5, I'll read the question, but I'm not going to go deep into the answer. Describe how blockchain integration has been a part of your calculus while developing the Shiryo game. Have there been aspects to gameplay development that have been hindered or stalled because of this? Yes. The short answer, just yes. Obviously, crypto has played a very big wall in creating this, but I mean that was to be foreseen, right? So I don't know. The last question is how has gameplay developed progressed to the extent that you can estimate the time interval from full game release to playing on mobile devices? Again, that is a deep question, and the answer was very deep. And just the fact that they haven't even gotten to alpha gameplay yet. We want to talk about mobile release. Baby steps. So, it's one of those things, like, Shiryo has a lot of work to do. And I think the sooner that we get alpha gameplay, whether it's in a crude form, which is what most of us are expecting for alpha gameplay to be, or if it's in a refined state where we're playing almost a finished game, I don't think that's where we want to be, or that's where we're looking for. So, who knows? Anyway, Shiryo. I still, like I said, I'm still a holder. This is not financial advice. This is not any of that. If you choose to get involved in the game, know that you could possibly lose money. You could possibly gain nothing out of it. You could possibly eventually have a game where you have some fun with the game and can earn things inside crypto environment. But what's the actual time frame to alpha release? What's the actual time frame to beta release? And what's the time frame to actual release? And I think that really needs to be answered before we can I think honestly, I think that needs to be next week's update. Is what is your timeline? Because we've been waiting 2 years since Shiryo. Um, we're going on 2 years, 18 months since the coding began, I guess. And so we really need a structured time frame, not a guesstimate. We've had guesstimates because we were supposed to start as of in December of last year. We were supposed to be playing alpha already. We're not playing alpha yet. Okay, so now they're trying to get 30 people set for alpha gameplay, and I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys this, but let's go look. It looks like they may already have the 30 players. I don't know the answer to that question because there's been people that have dropped and said no. So I don't know. I would have to get with Flate to see exactly how many people have been chosen for alpha gameplay and if there's any spots open. I don't know, but I hope that if they decide to choose us to open it up more for alpha gameplay spots, I hope they do that soon and get the 30 spots filled. But they may already have the 30 spots filled. I'll have to reach out to Flate on that. And I will let you guys know that in next week's update, alright? So, Shiryo, when will we get gameplay? I think that for Jordan, for Rick, for those that are involved, alpha gameplay, number one question. It doesn't matter about the currency. It doesn't matter about anything else to do with the game mechanics. It doesn't matter anything about development. It doesn't matter about these meetings that you guys are having. I get all that as part of business. But what is the time frame for alpha gameplay? We really need to know. Really. Alright? Guys, look, there's some links down in the description. Guys, if you want to support the channel, please click those links. Take a look. They are Amazon affiliate links. I understand that. I make no money from these videos. I'm not monetized yet. I think I'm at 460 followers, subscribers to the channel. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's push us up to 500 or so. We've been working on this for a while. I've made this kind of a dual use channel. Obviously, I've been putting out some technical stuff lately. I do work in the tech field, so I do play around with tech stuff every now and then. I do use Amazon Web Services, so I know the struggle of using AWS. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate this, and we're going to do this from now on every single Sunday. Whether Shiryo provides an update or not, we're going to go talk about it. And if they do provide an update, we'll read it kind of like that, and we'll go through it, and I'll give you my opinion on some things and what we need to do to move forward. Rick, Jordan, I hope you guys are watching this. Flate, I hope you're watching this. And if you guys do see this and you do watch, write down the questions that I asked, and let's see if we can't pop some answers. But I'm going to reach out to Flate individually and see if he can't provide further information. And you know what? Honestly, I would love to have Rick come on the channel and let's ask him some questions live. Let's do it. All right? Thank you guys for being here. Be blessed. See you on the next one.